these illegal immigrants don't have nowhere to go, so y'all gonna come over here to our neighborhood, open the school up for them? Really? Is that right? Anybody think that's right?
In the inner cities where we are suffering, my children cannot play outside. I cannot take my trash out without locking the door. It's awful. Who is going to give us anything? Where can I get asylum? Where can I get refugee status? I don't know what I can do.
The sleeping giant issue of this campaign is immigration. The economy is tied up with immigration. The new Reuters Ipsos poll came out this morning. 31% for Trump. And where's Ben Carson? Ben Carson is second at 18%. Rubio and Bush tied for third at 10%. Joining us now, and I'm delighted she's with us, Shirley Husar. Drew and I ran into Shirley at the Republican debate at the Reagan Library. She's a political strategist. She is, now I love this title, she is an urban conservative freelance writer. Now what does that mean? That means she doesn't just talk about crime and poverty and homelessness. She actually is there in the inner city pretty much every day, seeing what works, what has failed miserably, and what the challenges are and the possibilities are for candidates who want to make a difference and want to maybe bridge that gap between the haves and the have-nots with frankly, a more populist message. She joins us now. Shirley, how are you doing? Great to talk to you.
Well, I'm doing really, really well. Thank you, Laura, for having me on your show. Boy, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yum, yum, yum. Definitely. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Right.
Yum, yum, yum.
Right. Well, don't you think old Schumer saw poor old Marco Rubio come into that room and said, man, this is like taking candy from a baby?
You know what? It's like seeing Hillary Clinton thinking she's going to, or Ben Carson thinking he's going to be able to handle Hillary Clinton. That's going to be really more of a show if that ever occurs. If that ever occurs.
Well, let's talk about a couple. We're going to talk about a couple of issues with you because you're on the ground on a regular, if not daily, basis in some of the really tough areas in Los Angeles County, and you told Drew and me a frankly harrowing story about what's happened with the illegal immigration coming into California, specifically in the area of your focus, which is the LA County area. Just paint the picture for us, if you would, without embellishment, and you don't have to embellish, just the facts on what you see on a daily basis on the ground there.
Well, I think there's this misnomer of understanding what a conservative Republican's plight is, because they think we're anti-immigration, they think we're anti-Latino, and all these numerous rumors are just farce. Because the truth of the matter is we in California are probably the most open immigrated state that there ever is, but this is the problem. They don't want to assimilate. They don't want to go through the proper guidelines to become legalized. And what even makes it work is the leadership in this state, from the governor to the local senators and assemblymen, are supporting antics that are anti-constitutional. So we have a mixed bag of tricks when you live in this state. And you sit back and say, am I in America or am I in Mexico? And, when you say things like that, you are discriminating. When you say things like that, you are offensive. You are the illegal alien in America. And that is very, very, very sad. We see this on a daily basis. There's over 13,000 people that fall into homelessness in California. But do you think that's illegal immigrants? No, those are American people. American veterans, a matter of fact, are falling more and more into homelessness in this state. And it's really a plight. And I don't know what their agenda is, but we are thanking God for Donald Trump trying to make, and not trying, but actually making that the top running story through this campaign. So when you talk to Drew and me, we wanted to get down into the areas that you spend time in every day, and we weren't able to do it because we were, of course, had to rush out of town that next morning. But tell us, for people who don't
who don't know what it looks like and what it feels like on the ground in Los Angeles, not in the fancy areas, but where homelessness and illegal immigration collide. Tell us about it.
If you come to Los Angeles, this area is to come to. There's areas called MacArthur Park.
MacArthur Park.
And you go over off of 7th Street in MacArthur Park near Echo Park area, and you will feel like you're in Little El Salvador. And I say that because they do a lot of selling on the sidewalk. There's a lot of transit trash on the sidewalk. The streets are extremely filthy. If you could imagine going to some of the most poorest poverty areas of the country, when people drive through those areas, that's exactly what they do. You don't stop. You drive through. You know, downtown LA was becoming this before Live, Work, Play and the developers took over, and they pushed that out. There's still a large, strong Latino base there, but they have moved over into that area. If you go downtown, we used to be 5th in town, you go to San Pedro, and you go down to 5th in San Pedro, 4th in San Pedro, you'll see American homeless veterans being put out because they have no place to go, and you also see illegal immigrants coming here thinking that we are the golden pie, and they have no place to go. It's really interesting. You go to these areas, they're all in Spanish. Certain areas, there's hardly nothing on the walls that are in English. It's a combination of a mixed bag of tricks. You walk through these restaurants, you go through stores, like let's say you decide to go to McDonald's. You walk into McDonald's, and I'm not discriminating. I'm just giving you facts. I'm telling you, give you facts. You go to McDonald's to have a hamburger. I want a hamburger. ¿Habla español? No, don't speak English. You speak English?
Yes, no. You got to speak Spanish in those places, Shirley. You got to speak. No, hablan inglés. ¿Por qué?
No, okay.
Yeah, ¿por
qué? And
then
everything's in Spanish. I'm telling you, Laura. They're talking your order in Spanish. They want you to speak Spanish to them, and you don't know if they're going to spit in your food because they are like anti-America, anti-assimilation. And so it's frightening. It's frightening to see how they are benefiting from our systems, but their environment is taking over.
And Shirley, let's talk about the possibility that may exist for writing this cultural, this is cultural carnage in the United States. How can we turn this around? And you think about a message that could resonate in the inner city beyond, not in the inner city, in these poorer areas where there are working class African Americans, working class whites, working class Hispanics who are legally in the United States who don't like this. They call into the show. They are infuriated about this. Because it's all coming out. Hold on. So the message needs to be, in my view, we are going to make your life better. Government is going to start working for the people who want to work, to follow the rule of law, and it means the average worker, the average American of all races and backgrounds and wherever you come from, doesn't matter. But as long as you are an American citizen or legally in this country, this government's going to work for you. The Democrats want to give you free stuff, and then you're going to be dependent on them. But we're going to actually give you the tools to be the best that you can be, and we're not going to cater to people who are lawbreakers. I think that is a winner in the African-American community. And Republicans, for the life of me, I don't know why they don't do it.
I think that's a killer winner of what you're saying. But this is the reality. The reality is that Jerry Brown is taking this state, and he's making it more and more of a third world country. He's giving them more rights. They have the right now to get a driver's license. Our transit highways are inundated with people driving who should not be driving, who are here illegally. That also gives them the right to possibly vote. And so the word of the street is they're making it so that if they can vote, they can tip the vote and have it more towards their side.
What happens when they vote?
That's really the ultimate truth.
Yeah, what happens when they vote? What happens when they start voting? They say, something, we're not doing this.
They're already trying to register to vote right now. Listen, let me tell you about Huntington Park. Huntington Park, please keep following this story. There's a team of people on the ground really fighting for this. There's a team of people. There's 2 illegal immigrants that have now been appointed commission positions in Huntington Park, California. They're here illegally. People were outraged in the city. But you know what? The city council board, they were all Spanish, and part of them are illegal. They don't want to admit to that. Another thing that was so interesting is that when you address the city council to talk about this issue and you're illegal, you don't even speak in English. And I waved my hand and I said, hello. Excuse me, can you speak English in this council meeting? They said, excuse me, ma'am, you're a guest. No, I'm part of the community. Well, then put a headset on, because the headset will translate to you in English at a public American city council state forum in the city of Los Angeles, Huntington Park. And we are still fighting to get those illegals, and there's more and more corruption getting ready to be exposed. The city of Bell, the city of Verne, the city of Huntington Park. But the Republicans in the city of California, they have only a section that they're doing. The RNC, they're only doing a section. The Jamil Shaw family is on a plight. Please follow the Jamil Shaw family, because they are an African-American family whose son was slaughtered and shot down in front of his house by an illegal immigrant who was supposed to be deported. But guess what? The police said, well, he's not really that bad of a deal. We're going to let him free on the street. The police will only deport them, because we've been talking to the ICE police, we've been talking to the local police, and they've told us the only reason they'll let them go back unless they do a heinous, hideous crime. Otherwise, they have just as much rights to stay here and work through the system. Shirley
Husar, eye-opening. We love your passion. We love your passion for the rule of law, the truth, the idea that the system, the government, should work for the average American. All Americans should be served by the government, not the other way around. And this situation now is completely out of control. And unless people start to take this back, of all backgrounds and political persuasions, I don't care what your political persuasion is, this can't be what you want this country to become. This can't be. And I'm delighted she's with us. Shirley Husar,